Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading. And Aries, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aries, we still all have a little bit of Aries in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Aries in? That's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you, take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading. If you're watching it right now, is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been some time since I posted this, go back to what was happening then, and it may give you further clarity on your situation. We're going to begin now with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we do have, whoa, here we have a huge harvest. And maybe a few burdens. We'll see. So this is the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands represents action. Aries, you're all about action, so this is good. But the Wands are, the Ten of Wands represents someone that's carrying a very heavy load. And so the Wands represent actions that you or others have taken, and you're carrying them. And you notice this house in the background here. So this person is almost home with this harvest, but the harvest, it depends on what was planted. And so this can represent a very heavy load that maybe it can represent that you took actions to do certain things that you thought would work out really well, and now they're not what you thought they would be, and they're more like burdens to you. And so that kind of energy, you know, we make decisions, and if we have never done anything before, we might, like in that way, we may be in a position where we had no idea it was going to be like this. You'll see that in a lot of entrepreneurs that buy businesses, and that in particular, like restaurants and you know, service industry, that they don't realize how much work it really is, and how much it can be very overwhelming. So the energy here can be like you may have planted seeds that are actually bringing in a harvest, but you don't really want to keep that, you don't want to keep doing it. And it also can represent carrying other people's burdens that you need to put down. So this card is saying, you know, keep going, because look at, you're almost home. He can't see that because you know how they say you can't see the trees for the forest. So this is going, or the forest for the trees, whichever way they say it. And so this is talking about get the harvest home and then make some decisions later. And there may be a better way to do what you're doing, and you just can't see it right now. And then we're going to take the underlying energy for the bottom part of the reading here, and this is going to be regarding the internal forces. So it feels like you have gone through something, because there is the dark night of the soul here. And the Hermit represents someone who's been through it, and is like really needing to get some, isolate and be able to get some clarity on what's going on, and being able to get in touch with their intuition and go up, climb up to the mountain, to the top. So there's no one bothering you, and get, you know, clarity right from God, like go to the source kind of energy. And this lantern represents, inside there's a star in there, and that represents the North Star. And the North Star represents you're staying on your destined path that you were put on the earth to be on. So this is when this lantern is full of that light, then his staff becomes golden, and then you know, okay, this is the direction I need to take. Then it's time to come down from the mountain and take whatever action is in place. So when we were saying there might be a better way to do something, or maybe you need to put some of these wands down. And that's what we're going to look into here. Yes, here we go. It looks like you took your own advice. So this is good. This is representing hanging your mind, the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. Boom, hang them on the wall. Put them, like, we don't need you right now. We're going to put the mind to rest, and we're going to go inward and meditate, and we're going to pray and get some sort of clarity from God. And this stained glass window has the word Pax on it, P-A-X, and this represents peace of mind. So this is where you are right now as we come to this reading. You're in a place where you have isolated yourself possibly as much as you can. You don't necessarily have a mountain to climb, but you know, that type of energy. It's talking about, you could have like not a literal mountain to climb, but you feel like you're climbing a mountain. And then we have, look at this, we have the Ace of Cups coming in. So the Ace of Cups is talking about love, and it's also talking about peace. There's a dove here. And so this is talking about having a peaceful love. So this could possibly represent someone that is in your, like, this is the divine handing you this gift. This is someone coming in for you that is absolutely perfect for you, that kind of energy. And so this sometimes can represent something you love to do or something you love to be, but it's most likely romantic love, you know, of a partner or something. And we have, okay, so you might be in isolation because you're really wanting to understand what happened in a relationship that you thought was divine, but it's left you feeling this way. And that represents this energy here. So this is the wounded warrior. This is someone who is like, you've been through it. The good news is you managed to get, like, this is 9 wands. You've managed to get 9 home. And you're leaning on the 9th. And so that, you know, you've succeeded to get the harvest home, and you have left one burden behind, and that might be someone that you thought was someone that you know, loved you and you really loved. We're going to look in at some more Aries. Oh, we have the 3 of Cups here. So the Cups, this represents people that are celebrating, and a lot of tarot readers will read this as a card of celebration, but I feel like it's the opposite in many ways. They are celebrating. It's just that they're toasting, and not one of them is looking at each other, and they are, you know, they have their cups in the air, and it's more like they are toasting something that happened, and it might be this breakup or this energy here. So I feel like this energy quite often talks about there was 3 people in a relationship where there should have just been 2. And so this could be like a third party. And it also could be a lot of gossip about that kind of energy. It could sometimes represent a business, you know, a partner, something like that. Same energy, but directed not to someone you love, but something you love. We'll look into it some more. It usually is those a person. And then we have, okay, so now we have 9 cups. And so the 9 cups is coming in. And the 9 of Cups is talking about, you know, you, this is where you felt like you were. Like, this is what you always wanted. And you felt like this was what you always wanted. And then it turned like this. Like, and so you're really, you know, like you're really feeling it. And so this is like talking about, you thought this was the person that you wanted to spend your life with. You know, this is someone that you thought loved you very much as you loved them, that you could trust, that you had, you know, that kind of energy, that you could have a happy home with and have children with, and have like all, you know, the 9 cups represent 9 cups of love. And this is about those sitting, this person is sitting on a stage, it looks like for all the public to see. That's the other thing. I feel this was very public, whatever happened here. And people are talking about it. And, you know, people, one good thing is people don't talk about boring people. So that's one thing I'm picking up right away here. And so then this is representing past, present, or future. So are those cups behind this person? And there's 9 there, and that's what you had. And now something has happened here clearly. Or do you have them there right now and it's happening right in the moment? Or is it this is a warning that this is what's underlying energy is happening? And so the what ifs are your internal forces. Like you can tell it if it's coming from inside you. If you're saying, what if I do this? And what if I do that? Or if those people do that, what if I do this? What will happen? So it's the woulda, shoulda, couldas. And you know, that can keep you in quite a loop here. So the internal forces are what you can control, though, because you can't control what other people say, do, but you can actually control how you either react or respond to that action. And so I feel like what you're doing is the smartest thing you can do, is isolate yourself and go inward and get a really good understanding of what's happening. Now, this card talks about, and this might have been if it's past energy or if it's happening right now, to understand like the body language in this person is very incongruent. When you have your feet pointed out like this, it means you're leaking energy. And so it's in like kind of, that's your ability to move forward. And this is very closed. Like you see the opposite here, the arms are crossed over the body here. So this is saying that this person has, like if it was higher, I would say this was a closed heart, but it's like you have an open heart, but and this is actually in the form of an infinity symbol in some weird way here. So it could be, this is wanting to have control of a situation that you don't have control of. That's what I'm getting. And, if you are wishing for something, it means you don't have it yet. So if you had it, you wouldn't have to wish for it, right? So it talks about this card is saying, stay focused on your goals. Don't let anything distract you from it. And so this is the best thing you could do. I think it was President Bush, George Bush, when he first became president, he was highly criticized for going home to his ranch and just staying there for, I think, weeks. But really, if you're taking on a new role and you're not sure what to do or how you want to handle it, what better way than to isolate yourself so that you have a clear understanding of which way to go? That's kind of the energy. So if a president can do it, so can you. So don't feel bad if you're isolating yourself right now. I feel like this is a star energy. And so this is kind of, I right away got the apple of your dad's eye. Like, so I feel like this is an energy. You've been raised to understand that you have special qualities. I feel like you've been well loved. And this is talking about understanding that you have your own special, unique talents and, attributes, that you're a worthy person. And that this is you dipping the vessels into the water. This is the universal water. And then having your foot in and bringing that energy to the earth. And then it goes into 5 streams, which represents the pentacles. We don't have any money energy here right now, or lifestyle. This is purely about the soul and the will, basically, like actions and love kind of energy. But the knee, her kneeling down with the right knee on the ground, is also in body language. Your knees represent your ability to support yourself. So, and this is your North Star. And so I feel like you want to get back onto your divine path. Maybe you were distracted for a while here by someone you thought was worthy of that distraction, basically. And this is something that's kind of interesting. And I feel like I was just thinking about this before I started this reading, because the Aries energy may be noticing this more. Maybe Pisces and Aries are going to notice this energy more than others right now. But Neptune, which is a very big, deep planet, it takes a really long time to move, do its rotation around the sun. And that energy is talking about, we moved in. It's been in the sign of Pisces for like 14 years now, and it was moving back and forth into Aries, and then it would come in. But yesterday it moved into Aries for good now, and it's stationed there. And a lot of people aren't going to notice this energy so much because the energy is like, it's such a big planet. Like it takes time to really notice the change. But I feel like Aries and Pisces might notice it. And it's really talking like we went from like having a dream and like that was the cutoff date. Like if you thought something was really possibly able to work, like Neptune energy is in Pisces was very supportive of giving it one more go, having that one last chance at what you wish for, the big dream. And now that we're moving into Aries, Aries is saying, I want new. I want to start things new. And the Aries energy is the infant of the zodiac. And so the ram that represents the Aries energy, the Aries energy can be very rammy, like stubborn, and like I've got to get this done. And when you think about it, a baby comes head first. It's head first energy, and it's kind of like you may be feeling this urge, like just to, okay, I'm ready for I want to get out of this energy. That's like you're not wanting to be in this energy anymore. You want to put the burdens down for 2026. We had the new year on the 1st of January, of course, and that energy is we actually left in 2025. It was a 9-year cycle, and we left that energy, and I feel like that's what this is saying. You want to leave that energy down. In 2026, it's a 10-year, which boils down to a 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And so this was talking about a decade of energy ending on the new year, and a new energy coming in. And then Aries is really, and as I said, Pisces really feeling this Neptune energy saying, hey, we want new now. We don't want to fix problems. We want new. We want a brand new baby. That's what we want. And so this energy is, this is how you identify with yourself right now, is wanting to isolate. You're not in a very social mood. And we have abundance and self-worth. So you understand that you are worthy of love and having a really strong partner. And then this is communication in your early life. So I just feel like maybe you were raised in a family where the communication wasn't that clear. You know what I mean? Like there might have been a lot of arguing, fiery energy. The Aries is a fire sign, and these represent fire. And so this is talking that the wounded warrior is someone that's doing their best to stay on their path, despite all the distractions and all the energy around them. And this is your emotional foundation. And I just feel that whatever was going on in your family, like if you, what's happening now is related to people that you know. And they maybe if there was something that happened in a relationship, they knew about it and they didn't tell you, kind of energy. And that's hard to, if they're close, like siblings, family, cousins, family members, it really rocks your emotional foundation. And then we have, this is, you feel like you have a lot of creativity and you're worthy. You know that you deserve good love, that energy. And I feel like that's saying again that what you wish for and you didn't get, that energy is done. On January 1st, you were like, I'm moving into this energy. I'm bringing my harvest home, and I'm going to decide what I keep and what I don't keep. And I'm ready to move forward and be the star that I am. I'm getting back on my divine promise, that basic energy. So this is actually really good energy. It started off kind of, oh, this is, challenging, but we all go through ups and downs in life, right? So let's see what the external forces are. So the external forces, we have the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands represents fire. Again, like this is like a lot of this wand energy. And recognize that all the characters in the tarot are actually archetypes. So it's talking about energy of not gender, it's masculine and feminine qualities. So this could be a woman in her masculine energy as well as a man in his masculine. And these could be men. Men do gossip. A lot of times people say that women gossip, but men, a lot of men will admit that to you if you ask them. Yeah, there's a lot of gossip. So this energy, when they go for coffee, or go for a bike ride together, eventually it's like, oh yeah, what happened here and there, that kind of energy. So I think it's because they're trying to understand women, though. So a lot of times, it is what it is. But one thing I'm noticing about this card here, and I just noticed this a while back, all of the wands like that represent the fire. This king is really like of the 4 kings. He's passionate, fiery, very charismatic. The kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. Like you could forgive him for almost anything because he's charming, and he's a visionary, and he's someone that knows how to get shit done. and it's fun to be around him. He likes adventure, you know, that kind of energy. He's not boring at all. But in the back here, all of this, the royal court signs, they have these salamanders, and there's the little one running here, and then there's salamanders in circles and lions, and this is representing protection from fire. But one thing I noticed about this, it almost looks like there's someone behind him. There's the eyes, and then here's the smoke coming out of the nose, and he's smoking something. And where there's smoke, generally there's fire. So I feel like if you know this King of Wands energy is what got away, you know, kind of energy. They're a visionary, so they like to look into the future, and that can give them a roving eye when it comes to matters of love and passion. So I feel like possibly that's the energy, and you were feeling like you could smell the smoke, but you were like, oh, hoping there wasn't fire, that kind of energy. Yes, temptation is coming in. So the external forces, there was some sort of temptation in your relationship. And so the devil energy is ruled by Saturn, and it's talking about these two lovers being tempted, and they're now yoked to each other and also to the box of Saturn. And this is very deep energy like Neptune. It has major effects in your life if you give into this kind of temptation. And this is more like this, the devil is haunched over like this box, and he's on his haunches like that to represent that he's really in his animal instincts. Like this is more like lust than love kind of energy. So you might have thought you had love with someone, and it was actually more passion driven and more like lust, or you had this relationship and your partner saw someone else and that he lusted after. And so when the devil comes in, I always cover him with the next card, because I want to see, the devil never does his own dirty work. The devil's not going to tempt you. His job is to tempt and manipulate. And so if he's going to tempt you, he's not going to say, oh, you know, I have some real shifty shift, smells really bad, you know, it's going to end really bad, but hey, sell your soul. He's going to show you something shiny that you really desire, and something that you've always wanted, something you've always wished for. So because this is an element of fire, this is Aries too. So you could be the one that also felt this way. So, you know, if that is the case, and that's what we're looking into. We're looking at all the different options. Take whatever energy suits you. So we're going to look at what the devil sent someone in to give you an offer of marriage. And this is a cup of love coming in from the knight in shining armor. So he was shiny looking. Like he was like, you know, wow. You know, the dream come true kind of energy. Like he did everything. And I feel that he was sent in for a reason. And the energy is people that knew you fed information to this person to come in and offer you a cup of love and probably a proposal for marriage. And I don't see any money here, so I don't know why that is yet. But I definitely feel I'm picking up that energy. And, you're my collective, but hey, we all make mistakes. We get tempted if this is something you did. So and that would cause a lot of burdens, yes. And it could have been going on for like a decade at least or more. And so that energy, think back right now, what were you doing in 2015 and 2016 in between on the New Year's then, because that's the cusp. And were you, who were you with? What were you doing? Who did you meet? What friends were you with? What family members were you with? That kind of energy. What was your work life? Look into it, kind of like go back and think, okay, what was I doing back then? Because that will be very significant for you, I feel. But what it's saying is whatever happened here, it's come to an end now. It's showing up now. It's an external force that is no longer, and it also could be saying, if that's not the case, that you have someone coming in and someone's trying to stop this person from coming towards you. It's caused a never-ending nightmare, though. This is so interesting because this card, I just knew it was going to come up. I bet you this card comes up in a lot of readings that I'm doing, because I had this wild dream last night, and it was like, it was disturbing. It was a nightmare for sure. But I just kind of rolled over and said, Jesus, will you please look after these people for me? And I knew these people, but I couldn't recognize them. Like, it was really interesting. And some of them, like, I knew I had met them, and I couldn't in the past, and some of them I knew well, but I couldn't really put a finger on it, because you know how weird dreams are. I was kind of like, I knew them, and I could say, I think that's so-and-so, but their energy was so different. And I just rolled over and I fell back asleep. And I mean, I woke up with my heart pounding, like, you know, it's an emergency. And then I was like, oh, this is too much. These people, the energy was so horrible. I was like, oh, this is too much for me. I just said, I said it out loud, Jesus, please come in and take care of this for me. And I slept for another 3 hours and had a really good sleep. Woke up feeling like, oh, and I just remembered it. But this energy can sometimes talk about this never-ending nightmare energy, like I just described, that has been going on for at least 9 years, and it's all like it's ending now. So this is coming to a close, and it's due to something that happened here. And I feel like this is the other thing. The quilt on this bed here, it says that there's cosmic symbols on here. So it says that the universe has you covered, and is aware. And this is why you needed to pray and meditate and all of that. But it's so interesting because on February 1st, we have the full moon, bang, right there in Leo, and that's in your energy. And so I did a full moon reading for each sign, and I just posted them yesterday, so they're all complete, because that moon was coming in. So the Leo full moon is saying, I want to be able to express myself fully. And I want to be in an energy where my personal needs are being met. And it was facing Aquarius is directly opposing the energy. So the sun is in Aquarius right now, and the sun was shining light on it and saying, Aquarius energy was saying, no, you need to do what's best for the group here. And forget what you want. You're doing what we want. And I feel like that's that energy there. And so this Leo moon was like, it's coming up on February 1st. So it's really going to have that effect. So be aware of it. Because also on February 2nd, it's Groundhog Day. And I looked it up because I said, why is Groundhog? I kept, look up Groundhog Day, look up Groundhog Day. When's Groundhog Day? February 2nd this year. And so this can also represent someone becoming very bored and getting tempted by the boredom. And so the Groundhog Day energy was coming in. Like, this is like, just can be like, oh, I'm so bored. I'm looking for some excitement in all the wrong places kind of energy. Perfect scenario for the devil. And then on February 3rd, the energy coming in is Uranus, which is another very deep planet, is going directly. It's moving into Taurus, and eventually it'll go into Gemini. But since September 6th of 2025, so pretty much like half a year ago from this time that I'm doing this reading, it was sitting in Venus was in moving into Taurus. So we've got this energy now. Taurus energy is like right after Aries, and that's talking about wanting your needs met. So really be aware of that, because this energy is talking about that's like 3 days from now, and we're feeling that full moon energy right now. So I just feel like that's why I really wanted to make sure I got these these beginning of February readings out. So Groundhog Day on the 2nd, and on the 3rd, Venus is moving for the first time since September 2025. So think back what was going on in September also at that time. And then, and Aries energy is the infant. So You know how infants, they're totally helpless when they come in to the world. And then look how much they learn in 1 year. And so it requires for them to be very daring and bold and understanding, like, this energy is like really, I feel, is going to affect Aries the most, of wanting new, wanting everything new. And so if you were tempted or whatever, it's partly, it could be that energy. Or if someone did this, you were meant to find out now so that you can move forward. And then we have the Lovers. Like, look at this, right? I feel this is talking about an end of a cycle. So I feel like whatever happened here, now it's like, now we have the Lovers freed from this energy somehow. Or you found a new lover's coming in for you, or is going to, if you don't have that yet. And this could be someone that you really wished for. And this energy, well, I guess they just lost you. And I feel like they're going to really regret it, because I feel that it was a beautiful relationship until they got tempted by someone else. And it was an impulsive action is what's coming up. And so if this hasn't happened yet, just be aware of this energy, because also with the new year moving into the year of the horse on the 17th of February, that's galloping energy, and it's very passionate and it's very impulsive. So, you know, Aries, you're already impulsive. So, you know, this is the best thing you can do if you're in a situation similar to this. And I've put out several variations of this. The best thing you could do is isolate and really figure out, what do you want, because you don't want to take any impulsive actions right now. Everything's screaming at you to, because you know how they say men are from Mars and women are from Venus kind of energy. Well, that Venus energy is going to really affect you. And it's kind of, it causes this full moon energy to be like amplified a bazillion times, plus Neptune moving. Like, yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this reading for you. Just be aware of that. There's a lot of underlying energies here that are pushing you in a way that other signs aren't being pushed. We have the Judgment card here. So yeah, something's coming in regarding these external forces. And it's good, because the truth will set you free. This is talking, there could be skeletons coming out of the closet too, if there was family members involved. So there could be, Pandora's box could be opened. It could be like, maybe your person might have been having an affair with one of your siblings or a close family member kind of energy. You know, I'm just saying that's what I'm picking up. But here's God coming in and saying, again, you deserve to be happy. So this is talking about you being back on your divine path. And it's really interesting too, because this horse looks like it's the same horse, doesn't it? Like, so on some level, like, this is talking about you being on this young child coming in, totally carefree, no reins, no fear, carrying this heavy banner. And it's saying that this was destined to happen on some level for you. Because whatever happens here, maybe whatever happens here causes you to meet your real true lover, like the one that God's saying, hey, this is someone that's really, you're not going to be in this energy with love anymore. You're going to be in this energy. You're going to be happy. I'm sending you someone better. So back to this promise here, the story going, you know, really interesting. And then you're the Empress. So this is really, this Empress energy is talking about someone who has experienced enough life now that you are, congratulations, like the energy is all four queens rolled into one person. So you have the qualities of all four queens of the minor arcana. You've learned how to generate for yourself. You've learned, how to be more discerning, like the Queen of Swords. You've learned how to be loving and what true love really looks like. You know, you've learned, you've taken your passion, and like if this is when it comes to matters of business and that kind of energy, and you're able to use your intuition as well as your logic. And so the Empress is considered to be like pregnant with possibility. So, and also she could be actually pregnant. So keep that in mind for yourself, if you know. And we got a little one here on the pony. So, but I feel this is really going to work out. And you know, if it depends on where you are in this, you might already be in this energy where you've met someone else, or you could just be finding this out, that kind of energy. And of course, you know, take it into context. This is a collective reading, so take what works for you and leave the rest. But yeah, in the end, because what I'm looking at here too is this energy here. This is your position of marriage and commitment and partnerships. And look who's sitting there, right? With this shifty offer. And then here is transformation, death, secrets coming out, that kind of energy. No more Groundhog's Day on February 2nd. It's so funny. And then we have higher learning here and travel. I feel like maybe after isolating, you're going to feel like going away somewhere and you'll meet someone. And that will be like this energy that, because you see from here, it's all beautiful again. And so, you know, when we end a cycle, it's just like that Neptune energy. We don't necessarily, like, it doesn't come to a screeching halt for everybody at exactly the same moment. It's a gradual process. There really is no beginning and there is no end. It's a circle. Once you get used to that, it's, you know, easier to take, right? So because this is talking here. Also, judgment is in your career, your reputation, and your public image. And like this feels like you could be someone that's in the public, you know, and it could be very public what happened here. And this energy here is talking about new blessings, new friends, new, really being on your path. This is talking about being on your destiny. And then this is your spirituality, and secrets can come out. So this energy is talking like about being back on your path. I feel like being able to generate the energy you want to. Really good. We're going to clarify this with my oracle. This is, if you're enjoying this reading, just give it a like and a comment. I would really appreciate that. It helps me to build my channel. And I love to hear from you so I can figure, I'm working on my oracle, so I want to hear, is this working? I love when I get the comments, like what was, you know, did this hit home for you kind of energy. And so I started this oracle back in 2007, and I'm an artist, so I completed 64 paintings in 2020, and it is from courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I had a lot of fun doing it. I've had the cards out when it wasn't complete yet. I hadn't completed all the paintings, and I had it out in at psychic fairs and at seminars, etc. But I never had it together then. And so now I'm working online with you to write the book that goes with the cards, because I'm getting ready to print it. Yay! A long time coming. But I was just taking, I was doing a lot of energy work, and so I was really putting the energy into the paintings. So they have, I learned so much along the way, oh my goodness. And so in the description box below, there will be the order that these cards show up, represents the numbers of the paintings on my website. So my website is talesfromthevector.com, TAILS. And so you can look up the paintings in the order of the gallery there. The number on these cards represents the number in the gallery. All right, here we go. Well, I thought here we go. This is the card that's, okay, the Hierophant is coming out. Took a while, but. So the Hierophant is all about traditional structure. And it's someone that brings like the energy from the spiritual realm down to earth in matters of justice. It represents traditional structure in the spiritual essence and also in the 3D. So this could represent a judge or that kind of energy, because we have judgment coming in. So it's not just on spiritual level that there's judgment here. It's also There could be some sort of court involved here, that kind of energy, especially with this. Like, this is really shifty energy, whatever this was. And but it's like the Hierophant has his right hand is in the form of a blessing. So that's saying that this could be a blessing in disguise for you. And I do feel it is, because you don't want to be with someone that behind your back is doing all this shifty shift and, and not know about it, you know? Like, who wants that? And so, and this is going to free you to really meet the person. And I feel it's going to happen really quickly because you have been doing the inner work that you need to do to heal. And then from the bottom of the deck, we're also with the Hermit. What was this about? And we have the transition. So this is talking about, again, this is the end of a cycle. And the best thing you could do is go up to the mountain and consult with God, right? And then we have the perception coming in. So, okay, so this is what happened is someone felt the grass was greener on the other side. But just so you know, when they got over to the other side, now they realized, holy, this is fake grass. Yeah, the devil's really shifty, right? And so, but they're going to have to deal with that. That's going to be their problem because you're going to be busy on your holiday meeting whoever that new lover is, kind of energy. And the thing is, a lot of times people say, oh, the grass is greener because it's fake. Yeah, but you can also have green grass. If you really want green grass, you have to plant the seeds for the green grass, you know, prepare the ground first. You have to fertilize, you have to water, you have to cut it often so that there's not as many weeds growing. And then you have to weed it. You know, it's a lot of work to have green grass that's real, but it's worth it. It's kind of represents a relationship. If you put the more work you, not so much work, but the more of your energy nurturing that you put into a relationship, of course, the better it's going to be. Think how much a baby grows from all the love, and then we have mothers coming in with all their love, right? And that's, I feel like your ancestors are like really happy that you're fine, like you're going to be freed from this energy. They're pissed off on the other side. They're not liking it, especially your maternal line. They're like, what the heck? You know, and God is saying, I send you this empress and this is how you treat her. Like, seriously, are you kidding me? Everybody's just like disgusted here. So this is also, I feel like a lot of, this card's coming up a lot because a lot of people call the earth Mother Earth. And it's a lot of people right now, there's so many wild shifts happening on the earth right now. And with all the instant media we have and that, and AI coming in now, it's even more challenging to tell, is that really true? You see these weird stories come up and you go, did that really happen or not? You know? And so you have to really teach yourself how to understand what's AI and what's not. And that's true, like when you're not on the computer as well. Yeah, there was some sort of blind spot here. And so a scotoma is when there's a spot in your eye on the actual physical eye, a little area that's got a blurring, and you don't really notice it in the big picture here. It's kind of like this energy here. You don't notice it because it's only if the scotoma is right on your pupil or something, then you'll notice it. Otherwise you won't. And that's the kind of energy here. So this is talking about in life having a scotoma. So there was something that everybody could see, and they were all talking about it behind your back, but you couldn't see it because you didn't want to see it. That's the energy. You thought you didn't want to think of your person that way. And then there's something that you see that everybody doesn't see. And I feel like you knew something was wrong, and so that's why you isolated. And that's the energy, right? Father figures. So I told you, men can gossip. I'm telling you. There can be a lot of gossip going around about, this energy. Maybe they're saying, what an idiot. How could he let go of an empress for that? Like, are you kidding me? That kind of energy. That's what I'm like. It's not that funny, but actually the truth is funny. So quite often we'll laugh when the truth hits. We have Aquarius energy. So Aquarius is talking about, maybe you kind of thought something was up, so you did a little experiment to see where he was going or whatever. And there's not one, the only communication coming in is this cup of love, which is a false cup for sure. Like, I can tell you that right now. But this person doesn't even know how to love themselves, so they don't know what love is. And so when you realize that, then you don't have to take it quite so personally and recognize that, right? But I feel like you were observing the situation, and that's the best thing you can do. And then you went inward to decipher it because you felt like there's something not right. I want to point out here that when I'm bringing in these astrological signs, I'm not saying it was an Aquarius that did this. That's not how my readings work. We all have a little bit of every one of the signs in the planets somewhere in our charts, and every sign has its own unique quality that we can really move into, like that we can embrace, and and they also have their vulnerabilities. And so the energy of Aquarius, it's ruled by Uranus, and it can be, Uranus is very experimental energy. And so that's the energy that we're in right now, the age of Aquarius. We just moved into it. So we're all kind of learning. The Pisces energy was more like being really loyal to whatever your group is or whatever, that energy. And the Aquarius energy is now saying, no, we need to do what's best for the world right now. Like, we need to really move into that position. And it's also talking about very experimental energy. And so with technology and that, so you can, experiment and then see, observe, how did that, okay, what happened there, kind of energy. And then you have the information. And if you don't, and it didn't work out, you don't try and fix it, because it was just a small experiment. You just say, okay, what if I do this experiment next then? Because you're not going to fix, there's no point in trying to fix it when it's this burdensome. It's like, especially with this energy behind it, good luck. Like, you'd be wasting your time. So there's disruption. What is fun for some is not fun for everyone. Well, yeah, that would be this energy. It's a lot more fun to gossip about someone else's heartache than your own, I guess, for some people. It makes them feel like they are better. That's a very weak energy. And I'm getting this person was good at what they do. They put on a really good performance. They've been there, done that. They're good at it. And they had coaching. Like, they had people saying, oh, try saying this to her or him, or, like that kind of energy. I really do feel like that. And you'd be surprised how often that happens. I'm really feeling that energy, even from like, like an example might be someone has a girlfriend, and then she has, and she's friends with the sisters, and then she, it's always asking the sisters, what was he like when he was growing up, kind of energy. And it could be quite innocent, but she's using that information to manipulate, right? And so we have the Chariot here. So this is the power of spin. This is about, okay, this is already moving forward. This energy from 2025 is already old news, and this is going to be happening, like it's already happening in the spiritual, means it's coming down right now. The Taurus energy, or no, this isn't, it's Trauma Queen. So this is talking about, like, you see this cloud in between the lovers? It's talking about quite often lovers that are don't know each other that well. So you really want to make sure, even if this is someone that's divine that you meet, take your time. Like, just chill out. Be Aquarius. Don't be the Rami. Hey, I was watching this reading, and God was sending me someone that's perfect for me, that's going to marry me, and I think you're it. And this is the first date, and they're already bucking it out the door. That kind of energy. You don't want to be on a foolish journey. So when the fool starts out on his journey, you can either be, expect things to go exactly the way that you plan, or you can accept that probably God has a different plan at times. And things are, when you expect things, like the person has to be exactly this way, So this person that you're meeting could be totally different from your usual type, which seems like it might be a good thing, right? That kind of energy. And then the need to be right. Yeah. It's like, are you going to hang on to the need to be right? Like, I didn't have any part in this. You need to take responsibility for your part in this. And because there were signs that you weren't seeing in that. And then also recognize that some of what you're feeling is very volatile right now. And you're in Aries and you're feeling it. Like Aries has a pretty good temper on them. So quite often the fire signs have a real strong desire to be right. It's that fire in them, like wanting, everybody to know I'm right, they were wrong. And really, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And that's what God is saying here. Like, let it go and allow yourself to move on. Do the work you need to let it go so that you can enjoy it. And then we have here the moon would be a great time, like I said, to do that. Reckless abandon. That's when you discipline your mind so that you can really explore your domestic side or your wild side in a strong way, though. The card that represents this, there is, and this is interesting because there's a solar eclipse on that card. And we have a solar eclipse coming up on the 17th of February. And that is also the year of the fire horse that I was talking about at the beginning here. So on the 17th and on the 18th, you don't want to be in regret, right? So what it's saying, reckless abandon, WRECK, in case you're listening instead of watching. So reckless abandon, like you discipline your mind so that you can, it's a gypsy. She's walking out in the water there and she's on the lily pad. So she's taking some risks there, but she's already disciplined her mind. So she knows like, it's okay. Like I'm taking a calculated risk. That's the energy here. I really like this reading for you, Aries. It's it's full of advice for everybody. I hope you've also enjoyed it. Please do like and comment if you have. It'll really empower me to build my channel. Really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy and building community here. And it would be my honor if you joined up with us here. And I will be back. My next reading will be, I might be doing a bonus reading for Valentine's Day, seeing that all this love is coming in. Bye for now.